Hello everyone, so here I have the Buster Keaton collection and today I will be reviewing Sherlock Jr. So Sherlock Jr. came out in 1924 and it was directed by and starring Buster Keaton, and it's a silent comedy film. And in this film we see Buster Keaton, he plays a film projectionist, but what he really wants to be is a detective. At the start of the film we see him reading this book called How to Be a Detective. Later on we see a pocket watch goes missing from a shop. So Buster Keaton's character, he naturally wants to solve the crime and he says, I'll do this, I will solve the crime. But later it turns out the pocket watch is actually found in Buster Keaton's pocket. So how did it get there? Obviously he was framed for it, somebody put it in his pocket, but he doesn't know who. So Buster Keaton wants to try and find out who did this and who really stole the pocket watch. We later get to another sequence where Buster Keaton is working at the theatre with the film projector and he falls asleep. And then we enter this strange dreamlike sequence in which Buster Keaton actually is this world-famous detective known as Sherlock Jr. And in this dream sequence we see the same actors that we did before in the real world, except playing different characters in this dream fantasy sequence. So it's really interesting how they sort of mended the two worlds together. So on the outside we have the real world of the film where the pocket watch has gone missing, and then we have this dream sequence where the same actors are playing different characters, but in a similar scenario where this girl's pearls go missing. So Sherlock Jr. has to find where the pearls are. I just want to say that this film, it's really enjoyable. It's very fast paced. It's actually only 45 minutes long, but it's amazing how much they actually managed to pack into this film, because there's so many scenes in this film which are very exciting and very good to watch. There's a fantastic scene where Buster Keaton is on a motorcycle and he's going really fast around the town, and there's always moments where he nearly hits something or he nearly gets hit by a car or hit by a train. There's this really very cleverly well done sequence where Buster Keaton at the theatre, he actually ends up jumping into the screen and becomes part of the film that is being shown in the theatre. And then what happens is that Buster Keaton stays on screen, but the backgrounds around him are constantly changing, but he's staying in the same place. So he might be in a room for one sequence and then the background will suddenly change and he'll be on a cliff on the edge of the sea and he'll nearly fall off. Then it will change again and he'll have to dive out of the way of an oncoming train. Then it will change again and he'll have to run away from some lions that are there. If you think about the time that this was made, 1924, it must have been amazing watching it for the first time and wondering, how was this done? How exactly did they film it? And in fact, lots of people said that this film often makes people gasp more than laugh. And there were some scenes in this film where it was almost like, wow, you think, wow, something's about to happen here. But there are also lots of very funny bits in this film. It certainly is a comedy. It's very slapsticky. There are lots of bits where there's even the scene where Buster Keaton slips over on a banana skin. So there's lots of classic slapstick moments like that throughout the film. One of my favourite scenes in this film is when they are playing a game of snooker, and one of the characters, one of the bad guys, I'll say, he has set this snooker ball to explode when someone hits it. So what happens is they want Buster Keaton's character to hit the ball so that the room explodes. He ends up completely missing the ball and it keeps going really close to the ball each time, and it's really tense watching it because you think that something is about to happen, but each time the balls go all around it. It's all just very well done in that scene. It's incredible how they managed to get that right. They must have taken quite a few takes to not actually hit the ball. So it's a very interesting scene. I really enjoyed that. And we get all sorts of scenes like this throughout the film where we're constantly wanting to focus and make sure that we don't miss anything. So this is actually only the second Buster Keaton film I've seen. So over there behind me I've got the Buster Keaton Master of Cinema collection where it has 3 films: The General, this one Sherlock Jr, and also Steamboat Bill Jr. So I've seen The General, I haven't seen Steamboat Bill Jr, The General I thought was a very good film, mostly involving a train chase sequence. This film is also very good, although I don't think Sherlock Jr. is quite as good as The General if I was to compare them. The General is about half an hour longer than this one, to be fair, but I think Sherlock Jr. as a film, it's really good fun. I think everybody should give this film a chance. As I said, it is only 45 minutes long, so if you don't like it, it's not as if you have to put up with it for very long anyway. And it all moves so quickly, this plot. There's always something happening. There's always something to keep you watching. There aren't any dull moments at all. And Buster Keaton, he just has a very good presence on screen, even though obviously it's a silent film, so they don't say very much at all in this film, but they don't need to, because it's all in the facial expressions, it's all in the body language. And Buster Keaton actually, he does some quite impressive stunts as well. There's one scene in this film where he managed to make his way from a building all the way down to a car, and he just ends up in the back seat, and it's so funny the way it's done. They must have had to do quite a few takes of that to get it right. Overall, I am going to give Sherlock Jr. a rating of 8 out of 10. I think it's well worth checking out. I probably do need to watch more silent films. I still haven't seen that many silent films, but all the ones I've seen I've enjoyed so far, so I will certainly watch some more silent films in the future, and I will eventually do a review of Steamboat Bill Jr. as well. So there we go. So that is Sherlock Jr. So what do you guys think? Have you seen Sherlock Jr.? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Please let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.